baggy stuff all through high school, and I was like the outcast. Now it's like if you wear baggy stuff, you're in. You know, it's like, well, things change, and so it's funny though, because that also applies to these cars. Now they're back in style, which is more on the minimal side of things, as opposed to before it was wing west this, body kit this. There was just so many stuff that was out there available, and you wanted to have that. You know, you want to have those crazy interior conversions and front end and rear end ones. And now it's the opposite, where simplicity with T's, and that's fine too. And even all right, everyone, welcome back to the Motive Anatomy. Today we have Charles. Charles, thank you so much for making the time for us, man. Definitely appreciate this, you know, waking up this early this morning, since you guys were working on the car yesterday, so thank you. What do you drive, man?
This is a 1992 Honda Civic SI.
1992 Honda Civic. Just beautiful, man.
Thank you.
So before we get into this build, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, when did you first thought, I like cars, I want to modify them?
It's probably been my whole life. So I'm 39 years old. Not exactly an OG, not new to the game either, but yeah, I've been into cars for a while. I think my first inspiration was Knight Rider. I don't know if you ever watched that show, but that car was a 1982, I think, Trans Am, heavily modified. That's my birth year, and yeah, I used to watch that show a lot. The car used to jump. It's got pursuit mode. It's got a lot of aero. It's heavily modified, right? Car can jump. Got buttons and
little lights up front, right?
It lights up it's got the little light bar up front, and the car talks as well. So I thought that was pretty dope. You know, I didn't think I wasn't that naive to think that I could have a car like that, you know, when I became of age to have a car, but it was still cool to have that reference or you know, fantasize, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like the first car that I really loved. Even cars from other shows, like the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, that car could jump too. And
so you have a thing for jumping cars, is that what I'm seeing?
Maybe.
Hopefully these EG can jump too, because that seems like the pattern.
Well, I think that was a thing that said, like, you know, this is really not real. This is Hollywood.
Right.
But no, it was still cool. I mean, even the 18 man, I thought that was pretty dope. You know, that car didn't jump, but you know, it took them around. It's got the red stripe, really recognizable. And the thing with Knight Rider, which was cool, and I don't know if you know this, but you can visit the car at Universal Studios back then. So they obviously made a bunch of replicas and ones that they probably crash on the show or for stunt cars or whatever, but they had an example of one at Universal Studios, and you can go in the cockpit, take a picture, you know, everything but David Hasselhoff basically was there, you know. So yeah, I mean, that really kind of got my interest started into cars.
And then when you were of age, what became your first car?
So my first car actually was a 1988 or 89 Mazda RX-7 non-turbo automatic.
Okay.
That was a car that my mom got for me, and I just came home one day and it was in the driveway. So, but I've always wanted an EG since the car was for sale, currently in the lots. And I always wanted that even before I got the Mazda, but my mom got me that.
Definitely.
So I mean, that's what
beggars
I got.
can be choosers, right?
Yeah, but my interest in Hondas in general, I mean, came from my cousin Ron, and I'm only child, just so you know. So for having someone like my cousin Ron, who's like 2 years older than me, he's really my gateway to everything, right? To what to wear, what kind of music to listen to, and when you get closer to that age, it's like, you know, in a few years we're going to start driving. What kind of car are we going to get?
Right.
So I was really into whatever he was into, right? So at one point he was into, I think, dually trucks.
Oh, nice.
You know, like with the two wheels on each side in the back.
The dualies, yeah.
That's dope. I want one too.
I can see myself in a truck.
Yeah, I'm like, that's pretty badass. I want one of those.
Slammed,
too.
right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Or one that can jump.
not one that can jump, but
okay.
a slammed version. Yeah, I think that's kind of.
They look amazing rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, and back then, you know, when you're a kid and you're rolling around with the family, whatever, and you're in the back seat, we didn't have iPads back then, you know, like to keep ourselves occupied. So what do? You look at cars on the road.
Yeah.
You know, you look at cars and you're like, oh, that's the dually I'm talking about. I want to get one of those. And you're like, oh, you know, that's dope. So, but then one day he was like telling me about Honda Civics, and he's like, yeah, people get these Honda Civics, and you know, they lower them, put some fog lights, you know, put an exhaust, make it a little louder. And I was like, huh. So, you know, he'd point them out, like,
Yeah.
that's an example right there. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
A bubble hatchback, you know, I like it. I like it because he likes it, and you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you definitely want to have somebody, and if he's like a mentor in different ways, you start kind of getting the attention. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, the Civic, this is like mid '90s, so I think
these cars are new in essence
at that time. Yeah. So you know, I'm in middle school and whatever, and I'm already planning like when I'm gonna.
How cool is that?
You know, when I get to high school, you know, sophomore year, maybe junior year is when you get your license and you become of age to be able to get a car.
Yeah.
And you're like, you just kind of have a countdown going. So I even remember going to summer camp one year, and one of the staff members was with the group of guys and kind of asked us all like, hey, what kind of car you guys want when you get your license? And everyone goes around, and when it got to me, I was like, I want a 95 Honda Civic hatchback. And he's like, hatchback.
Everybody's a Lamborghini, Ferrari,
well,
and this kid right here.
Maybe, but I think in his mind, he's like surprised because he's probably thinking like, when I become of age, you know, 5-6 years down the line, this isn't going to be a you know.
Well,
car.
even brand new, like it's just a Civic. Like nobody dreams of a Civic.
I don't know if
like
he
that.
thought like there's going to be flying cars, you know, when I get my license, but you know, I had my mind set pretty early on.
That's cool.
And it's when the car was still currently for sale on the lot, basically.
That's
so.
cool.
Trim and things like that. I mean, they're hard to find. Some things aren't made anymore. It's funny, like you can get mud guards, right, for this car. They're really easy to find, but certain things like maybe the belt trim or the roof gutter moldings, those are, if you find it, they might be a little bit, you know,
a little pricey. Yeah, to say the least, and I think that's where it's going.
Yeah. Like for example, I have what also came with the car is a Civic SI sticker.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, you know, they make replica ones, or you know, obviously making a sticker is not hard to make. But
just knowing that it's OEM from back in the day, brand new, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, and I think like someone offered me like $100 for mine. And
Wow.
I'm like, nah.
You thought about it?
I'm like, this came with the car, and it's going on the car. We sold the Mazda, and I got the green light to look for a Honda Civic hatchback, and I'm not really sure where I found it. Could have been Auto Trader, could have been Recycler. I don't know if you remember the Recycler.
I've never used it myself, but I've
heard
heard
it's still around, but you can get like a hard copy at the liquor store, gas station, or I think they had an online version. But it was kind of like Craigslist, sort of. I remember all the friends, we joined a body shop class.
Oh, that's cool.
Long Beach City College. Basically, we did it just to have access to all the tools and just kind of mess around with our cars. I remember I did the flush side, like it didn't have moldings, right? So I did the whole flush panel.
You went backwards?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a cool thing. I mean, some of us, I think, painted body kits there, and the instructor kind of knew. We were just there to just mess around, really.
Well, but I would assume that's the type of people that he wants. People that are passionate just to be there.
Maybe not necessarily like someone looking for a career in auto body, although that could have been the case for some people.
You never know.
But yeah, we were all still in high school, and it wasn't like we need this for college credit. We just wanted to have access to all these tools. But we would supply, sandpaper, fiberglass, Bondo, whatever, and just kind of mess around. And then after class was done, we were just like, all right, see you next week for next class.
That's crazy. So fast forward, how do we end up in this EG?
So yeah, I had that. I sold that white one. Kind of got out of the scene. Friend Tony told me, he was like, hey, Matt's selling his EG, and I was like, no way, And the homie Matt, he this was actually his second one. So he had his first one in high school, also a Captiva Blue SI, and so I'm going through all of my texts, and I see the Craigslist ad, and so I hit up Matt, and I was like, hey, you selling your EG? He's like, yeah, I'm moving out of state, so trying to get rid of it. And I'm like, yo, I want it.
Simple.
Pretty much. And yeah, long story short, he sold it to me. And it came with a bunch of parts.
Nice.
A bunch of like JDM parts, stuff still in Honda labeled packaging. Stuff that I see now that's like, people are saying, oh, this is rare, I can't believe I got this. And I'm thinking like, wow, you know, basically I took on his project, right? So I got a project car, but when you think of project car, when you buy it from someone, you think of like, maybe it's not running, maybe you need some body panels.
Wiring is all crazy.
Yeah, it's not in good condition. But basically I got a running car.
Gotcha.
I got a running car that had everything working, and it came with a ton of parts. And so basically my goal was to finish his project, so to speak. So I got this in, I want to say it was May 2016.
Okay.
So that's when I first got this. It had OG paint. Mod wise, it only had lowering springs, I think some H&Rs. Yeah, it was just oxidized all over the place. Some no-name 14-inch wheels. And my goal was that this is just going to be my daily. Obviously single cam SI, and I still have my Evo, so that was like going to be like my toy car.
Right, the fast car, right?
Yeah, and then this was going to be my daily.
The front end, what do we got going on? I mean, it's extremely clean. Has the car always been like that? Like no gaps in the panels and everything?
Maybe close. I don't know if it's no gaps. I mean, you'll probably see some if you look closely here and there. Some things may not line up correctly. I mean, this is when I got it, it had about 314 or 310,000 miles.
Wow. So
it's a high mileage Civic. But yeah, as far as the front end, this is basically, I don't know, it's OEM front end, OEM Plus, I guess. It's got the front lip, which came with the car when I bought it, brand new.
Wow. Still in great shape.
Thanks. JDM headlights, JDM corners, which also came with the car when I got it. That's a brand new Honda emblem that came with the car.
Wow.
The hood squirters are brand new, came with the car. The hood cowl, brand new, came with the car. The windshield wipers were brand new.
Man, your homie hooked you up then.
Yeah, and that's just the front of the car. And the bumper itself was brand new Honda OEM.
Unpainted. And then you matched it, which you guys didn't. And the whole car was sprayed?
The whole car was sprayed, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do jams or engine bay, but yeah, the exterior was sprayed.
Looks
and
great.
it also came with JDM fenders.
Oh, okay. So I thought you. Okay.
That all came with the car, and that's just the front.
That's freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely took on quote unquote someone else's project, which had a lot of parts just sitting on the side, and I mean the execution of it is great. I mean, the car looks just OEM, you know, like it's never been, nothing has been taken apart.
These bumper plug, license plate plugs, those also came with the car.
Those are hard to find, man. Those are cool. I like those.
That's what I heard. I mean,
yeah,
like
they're getting hard to find.
Like I said, it just.
You're like, it came with the cars. I don't realize how you know hard or not to get them.
And all these parts really sat. They weren't on the car. They sat when I got the car up until the paint job, which was 2020. So yeah, so that came with that. But if we want to walk around the rest of it, I can kind of tell you what else it came with. So JDM fenders. It came with the Password JDM side moldings, thin side moldings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are brand new, still in the packaging.
That's super cool.
It came with the side skirts, brand new, OEM Honda side skirts. The mud guards, those are brand new. Came with the belt trim, the pillar garnish, the roof gutters.
Wow.
Also came with front, the left, middle, and right windshield moldings. All brand new. So those are just stuff I was sitting on until I was going to get a paint job. Came with also a brand new OEM rear bumper from Honda, still in the packaging, unpainted. New rear emblem, JDM taillights. Came with the JDM EG6 rear wing. I didn't know this, but apparently there's a one piece and a two piece. So this is a one piece, which I think came in the 94, 95 models.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously the JDM one's protruded out a little bit more. It's got the longer brake light. What else? JDM rear glass, which I found out kind of recently. I went to a pop-up meet one day or one night, and some of the guys that are checking out the car was like, "Is that JDM rear bronze glass?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't know," because you know the homie Matt never told me about it, so I didn't want to front and be like, "Yeah, of course it is," you know. So I went home, I texted him, I was like, "Hey, bro, like, is that a JDM rear hatch on the car?" And he's like, "Actually, it is, yeah." I'm like, is there any other secrets, you know? So that's kind of funny how I found out about it, and I'm kind of looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, it is. You know, so
it does have a tint.
I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, I guess your homie was, you know, ahead of its time, where like he was picking up all these parts, and you're just like, I'm getting a deal. I mean, I'm just getting the EG, and then everything else is a bonus. Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure. We had brand new the rear hatch shocks that came with the car as well. That's about it as far as the exterior as far as what came with the car. There's some stuff on the inside that also.
Well, he definitely did you a favor, because I mean, it's now the car looks great, and you don't have to source all those parts, you know, and they're just getting harder and harder to find.
For sure. Yeah, I'm super lucky. I'm blessed that he, obviously perfect timing, and I knew him, and he was willing to sell it to me, and the best thing I could do for hooking me up with such a great deal is just
execute it properly,
doing it the way he wanted to do it. If I painted the car red or something and did color change, he'd be like, "What did you do to the car, man?
You ruined it."
You know. So
I hear ya.
Obviously, I didn't do any of that, but yeah, that all came with the car as far as the exterior wise.
Cool. And then tell us about your suspension piece. What do you got going on now?
So besides the tank coilovers, which I said were street advanced,
still have them.
They're still on the car.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, like I said, this is a high mileage Civic. All the suspension bushings were that old, and so last year, after we did the swap and the paint job, the next phase of the build was suspension. So I started acquiring and accumulating suspension parts. So went with a lot of K-Tune parts, some parts from home developments. But if you start in the front, K-Tune front camber kit, K-Tune lower control arms, K-Tune compliance arms, compliance bushings. Got the lower ball joints from home developments. Stock sway bar in the front.
Okay.
In the back, K-tuned rear trailing arm bushings, K-tuned rear toe kit, K-tuned, well, that's it for K-tune, sorry. Got the Hone Developments rear camber kit, the Hone Developments roll center correction brackets for the trailing arm, ASR version 1.5 lower control arms. They got the ASR subframe brace and the ASR sway bar.
Gotcha.
And I think that's it for suspension.
Well,
for front and back.
Dude, that's a lot.
That just got done recently, so the car drives really well now, and
nice.
it doesnn't feel like an old
Honda.
Old Honda, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And then tell us about the wheel and tire setup. What do you got going on?
So these are Vogue Racing. Obviously, I got a real set now. You know, going from a replica set in hix school to a real set. You know, over 20 years later. These are Vogue Racing TE37 SLs, 15x8 plus 35. I wanted to rock the OG stickers and not the SL stickers, so naturally I got the blue valve stems to go along with them.
Beautiful.
As far as tires, Nito NT05 and 205 50/15s.
Love the tire size.
And just some Ray's lug nuts to go along with that.
Wow. Tell us about the interior. What do we got going on, if you don't mind showing us?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to open the car. So basically just OEM interior for the most part. Seats, these are Recaro SR3s from ITR CTR. I got like, I don't know, two out of three Razzo pedals. Momo Monte Carlo steering wheel with the Momo hub. JDM EG6 cluster, which came with the car.
Nice.
JDM EG6 climate control, which also came with the car. And that's really it as far as interior goes.
Super clean, dude.
Thank you.
Super clean. And you can definitely catch the bronze a little bit different once you see it and you compare it to the side glasses, to the side glass. I mean, is there any major plans for the interior? Because this is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think eventually I want to get like the center audio console.
Okay.
They're just really expensive and tough to find a very clean, I guess, example of one for sale. I mean, there's a lot out there. Just
they want $1,000.
I want to be picky about it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I'm at. I actually had the opportunity to buy them brand new when they were still selling them.
Wow.
I just didn't.
Yeah, you're like,
you know,
they'll be there forever.
I wanted to focus on other things or other parts for my first Civic. I didn't really care to think about getting that.
You were too busy getting rotas.
Exactly.
Before rotas.
If I knew at the time.
If we all knew at the time, dude, I would have like 20 EGs and, I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's definitely something I'd consider at some point. But other than that, for the interior, nothing immediate. I mean, things will change though. I'll probably want to do something eventually, just not on top of the priority list, I guess.
Gotcha.
Happy with the way it is right now though.
Definitely. So, I mean, bucket seats, racing wheel, I think. Let's check out the power, let's see what we got under the hood.
Sure.
Bucket seats, racing wheel, I think. Let's check out the power, let's see what we got under the hood.
Sure.
It's not very common for a lot of people to go with the LS on an EG, Was it LS or what did you say you told me it was?
This is a
V8, no? A V8.
4-cylinder.
Better than a V8. Wow, this is cool, man. I mean,
thank you.
First of all, the engine bay is immaculate, and it looks like it's OEM, right? It fits so nicely. So kudos to you. Tell us, what are we starting at?
So this is a 1995 B18C1, the motor that came in the USDM Acura Integra GSR.
And how did we end up in this stage? I mean, you said that you wanted to swap it. Was this the motor that came to mind, or is just kind of happened to be?
Not necessarily the motor. I mean, I think I was kind of certain on doing a B series swap since I had one on my first EG. But really, the goal that we kind of conceptualized was we wanted to get this bar certified. So. BAR meaning the Bureau of Automotive Repair, and there's a couple ways to see the ref. There's voluntary and involuntary. I chose the route of voluntary because I wanted to get the engine change certified, I guess. So that's kind of how it came about. We did a little bit of planning, and I was able to source a donor car, 1995 Acura Integra GSR on OfferUp. Got a really sweet deal on it. Came out to about $2,000. After the motor was taken out, the shell was sold for like $600. So basically, I got this swap for about $1,600.
Wow, which is super good.
Or $1,300. Sorry, my math is all messed up.
Yeah, it's early. Don't worry. Okay.
But yeah, once that was in hand. Started kind of planning out what's going to be done to it. Obviously, getting it barred was a priority, so we didn't want to go too crazy with part selection. So basic 0 mile rebuild. The block was hot tanked and honed. The cylinder, the head was resurfaced. Got new P72 spec Nippon Racing pistons. Didn't really want to mess with the compression too much. As far as the valve train, it's a Skunk 2 valve train. So valves, titanium retainers, and valve springs. Still running the stock cams. Again, because priority was to get it barred, so we wanted to pass emissions. And that was it really for the bar setup. But the other parts that you see now, it's got a Skunk 2 first gen intake manifold, Skunk 2 throttle body, Integra Type R intake arm with the CT engineering icebox, and a OEM OEM Honda header. Yeah.
Cuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then transmission, what did you do?
This is the stock transmission. The only thing that was done was just a competition clutch OEM replacement clutch and a competition clutch lightened flywheel.
Nice.
Most recently, a Block's slave cylinder was added. Had some issues with the one that was on there. Got a spoon clutch line. Did the S2000 Clutch Master cylinder change. But other than that, that's it. I mean, the goal really was to also retain all the amenities of the car that it came with. So as you can see, it's still got the AC, it still has power steering, and it still has cruise control.
Awesome.
So literally all the buttons in the interior work.
Oh, that's cool.
The horn button works, the AC button works, cruise control works. The only button that doesn't work is the fog light button. And I don't have
there's
fog
no
lights.
fog, so
Yeah,
okay.
but the button's there.
Okay, I'm sure it works.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. As far as the car goes, it's got a California compliant catalytic converter. That was for this car. Obviously, you need that to do the bar process, and the exhaust is still OEM catback exhaust.
That's awesome.
30 years old.
Have you tuned the car?
The car has been tuned. It was tuned by Chris at Natural Aspirations in Torrance on Honda Tuning Suite, and he runs a Dynapack. I put down like 160 to the wheels.
Beautiful.
Or to the hubs.
Okay, that's great.
Don't remember the torque number. It's definitely more than enough for what I need at the moment. Super happy with it. Obviously, it's drives great, drives reliable, doesn't give me any issues. It's got more power than the motor it came with. So I mean, it's really all I could ask for, I guess, at the moment.
And most importantly, it's barred, and that's such a peace of mind.
Yeah, definitely gives you peace of mind, and I think that's one of the reasons, obviously, why I got out of the Honda scene with my first EG. I had a lot of tickets, you know. I got pulled over a lot for sure. Nothing crazy where I got sent to the ref or anything like that, but
it's a hassle.
I just didn't want to deal with it anymore.
All right, Charles, thank you so much, man, for making the time. Thank you for sharing, the background on your just car history. I think all of us have some type of mentor that kind of guide us, a certain way. And, I think you've done an exceptional job with this EG. The fact that you picked up a lot of cool parts from your buddy and now you execute it to the T and you're driving the car. So kudos to you, man. Thank you. Any shout outs?
Yeah, sure. First, probably my wife and kids for really supporting me financially as well as spiritually and emotionally. No, it takes a lot of time to work on this car, or obviously time and money, where that money could be spent on things at home or whatever. So her letting me do this, and my wife and son and my daughter, them letting me do this it means a lot, obviously, to kind of let me do this and live it out. So big shout out to them, obviously. Who else? My homie Patrick. He basically did all the work on this car. I'm not going to try to take credit. Not that I'm totally incapable, but he's just way more capable and talented than I am. So the workmanship that you see in the engine bay, like all the tidiness, that's all him. And he did all the suspension work as well. But yeah, all the homies that are in my circle, they know who they are. Shout out to anyone in the scene that's doing it up. A lot of people that you interviewed, I really admire a lot of their builds. People on Instagram that I follow, I mean, pretty cool stuff out there. Shout out to people that do some waffles. I'm really down with that. I like gambling. But yeah, some parts came from that, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe the seats.
Yeah, maybe
the steering wheel.
Seems like you know the numbers to pick. Damn.
Obviously, yeah. I didn't randomly pick them. There was some.
Well, we'll have a chat afterwards. We'll have a chat.
Some thought process behind it. But yeah, shout out to everyone out there, man, and kudos to you for running this channel. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit that bell, and
get the notifications. Oh, you almost got it. I love it, though. I swear I did not tell him to say that. But hey, you know what? On that note, I know you shared that you've been watching the channel for a bit. And so thank you. Thank you for the support.
Sure.
You were supporting even back when we didn't have a mic. And so I know you guys put up through some hard times trying to get closer to your speaker because it was a windy.
But when you got it, it was like, man, this is cool. So much better. Like
he's moving up in the
3D
world.
Or something. Yeah.
It's like 3. I was there. No, thank you, man. I mean, I'm telling you that means so much, man. It really the humbling experience for me, for you guys to just meet up and have a chat, and thank you for the coffee. It's just a great experience overall, man. So the pleasure is mine. So you guys are doing me the favor, and you're now sharing your passion and your story to somebody else that may or may not have an EG, but it's like, damn, like, yeah, my cousin was that person for me. Or I also went to the body shop at the local community college or at the high school, whatever. So there's always something that we can be relating to, and little that that you're inspiring somebody all over the United States and across the world. And so that's the freaking amazing feeling that we get out of this. So thank you.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just honestly, it's just another EG with TEs on, I'm not trying to be different or anything, but obviously to each their own. But yeah, if like you said, if it's an inspiration to somebody, then that feels good inside, you know, in here.
There you go, man. Well, I guess we don't get tired of VGs with T's, but thank you so much for the opportunity, man, and I can't wait to see the future mods for this car and just, you know, see you around, man. Thank you.
Of course, appreciate it.